I'm Jackie Hurley, author of Freehand Maps at freehandmaps.com. One might think I always did well with social studies, history, and geography, but that's not the case. I had trouble organizing information and storing it and carrying all the names and dates and places and events from one place to the next as I studied history. That was fine for me, but when I started teaching, that wasn't good enough. I found that if I taught my students to draw a few freehand maps from memory, those maps could help my students organize and store their information. They kind of acted like a file cabinet so that they could work their ideas through history in an organized and memorable way. I'd like to show you one of those freehand maps and how you can use it to improve your reading comprehension when you study history. I'm going to draw the freehand world for you rather quickly. You can find this map if you'd like to learn how to draw it at freehandmaps.com, and it's free. Like all of my freehand maps, it comes with a printable set of directions in case you prefer to use print to learn things. So now I'll begin. I'm going to draw the ear of Alaska, down the coast of California, hang the Baja Peninsula, draw the trunk of Mexico, the tusk of Florida, up over Newfoundland, scoop out Hudson's Bay, and close at the top. Then I'm going to draw the ice cream cone of South America. Moving across the Atlantic, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 fingers of Scandinavia, punch out that fist of Europe, hang a high-heeled boot of Italy, hang a spot of Greece, come around the face of Turkey. Then I'll come around the back of the Mediterranean and up over Africa, almost touching the fist before I draw the Scotty dog head of Africa. Then 1, the boot of Arabia, 2, the chin of India, 3, the ear of Southeast Asia, 1, 2, 3 faces of Asia, and close at the top. Before I finish my world map, I'm going to draw the drumstick and mashed potato of Great Britain. This is Scotland, England, and Ireland. And I'm going to add a rock of Australia, and way over here on the edge, the crescent moon of Japan. Now that's the freehand world quickly. And we're going to use it as I read a passage from history. I'm going to read a passage one might find in a typical social studies book regarding Columbus. I chose Columbus first because he appears in most US and world history texts. And another reason is most people have some information about Columbus. Before I begin to read, however, I need to add a few details from my freehand North and Middle America map and also my freehand Europe. So from freehand North and Middle America, and you can find this map online if you are interested, I'll add just a couple details. Under Florida, I'm going to add a line for Cuba. Next to that, another line that I'll split in half for Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Next to that, another little island line for Puerto Rico. Then I'll put in a few dots for the Lesser Antilles. I also discussed Central America on that map, but for this map, I'm just going to put a line in between North and South America. Then in Europe, and from the Europe map, when I do the country of Portugal, it becomes this index finger on the fist of Spain. So I'm going to add that right here. And now I'm ready to begin to work with this passage. You'll be able to see just how many geographic images you have to make as you read. Born the son of a wool weaver in Genoa, Italy, here's Italy, Columbus did not take to the sea until he was nearly 20 years old. After several voyages in the waters off Greece, well, here's our spot of Greece, he joined a convoy headed for England. Well, if he's going to go from here toward England, and here are our British Isles with England in the bottom, he's going to have to be traveling this way. But his ship was attacked and he was wounded. Using an oar as a life raft, Columbus came ashore in Portugal. He came ashore here, where he recovered and resumed sailing. Portuguese ships, well, ships from Portugal right here, were venturing down the coast of Africa. So they're sailing from here and around the coast of Africa with plans to reach India here, China here, the East Indies, that would be here, and Japan over here to establish trade. Columbus believed sailing west was a quicker route. Remember, the world is round, so this side of the map actually touches that side of the map. A learned man from Italy, someone he knew from Italy again, had convinced him Japan, over here, was only 3,000 miles west of Lisbon, Portugal. Here, again in Portugal. It was actually more than 11,000 miles west. When Portugal refused to finance his voyage, he approached Queen Isabel of Spain. Now we're in Spain. Spain provided the money. On October 1492, Columbus arrived on a Bahamian island south of modern-day Florida. So that must be an island somewhere here, south of Florida, and named it San Salvador. Columbus made 3 more voyages for Spain and explored the Caribbean islands of Hispaniola. Now that's present-day Haiti and the Dominican Republic, right here, these two, Hispaniola, Jamaica, and Cuba. Here we have Cuba. I'm going to talk about Jamaica in a minute. He sailed along the coasts of Central America and northern South America. That prompted Spain to claim those lands and establish settlements, even though Native Americans were already living there. To his dying day, Columbus believed he had found Asia rather than parts of the globe known to Europeans, Asians, and Africans. In the following years, his voyages led to the establishment of the Spanish Empire in America. This passage on Columbus contained 254 words. 47 of those words were geographic reference words. That's almost 1 in 5 words. Most teachers would not expect students to look up every 5th word. If they did that as they read, it would become a burden, and they would lose the continuity of their thinking, and their reading comprehension would suffer. Now, history books do provide atlases in the front or back pages of their text, or they provide inset maps, and they're valuable to use here and there. But the best way to approach much of this reading is to have rapid recognition of a good geographic vocabulary. Freehand maps can do that for you. At freehandmaps.com, You can find 8 maps, and you can begin learning them if you choose, 1 or 2 a year, perhaps 1 or 2 a month, to develop your geographic vocabulary. You'll find that they'll be helpful as you study history, social studies, and current events. Thanks for viewing.